morning, Blues. Steve Browning. How you doing, pal? You okay?
Yeah, mate, yourself.
I'm very excited about the season starting. Are you? Do you know what? I think we have to start off the show today and go straight into the Liverpool game because I want to get it done and dusted. I think as soon as we get it done and dusted, the better we can move on to the positive news that we've got the first game of the season coming up this weekend, and it seems to have gone really quickly. But I think it has actually, in normal terms, normal reality, it's normally a bit later this started, isn't it? But the World Cup's brought it forward a week or two. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, you're correct, mate. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's jump straight into the Charity Shield. I know we have to. I think I'm going to start. I think I'm not. We've not spoken much other than over Discord about it, but I see so many people saying it's only a friendly game, not really bothered. I'm really bothered about this game. I'm really, really bothered about winning and losing. And I'm more bothered about winning and losing against United and Liverpool at this moment in time. I can't quite grasp, and I can't really get my head around people saying, whatever, friendly, all the rest of it. It's not. We wanted to win that. I think we wanted to win that. I certainly wanted to win that more so from a psychological point of view of saying, we've beat you. You're our closest enemies. You've got much of a chance to win the league as we have this season. We've beat you already. That's the stake in the ground, and we're going to go forward from here on. And I just don't get the mentality of City fans saying, I'm not that bothered about it. I've spoken to a few, and what's your take on that?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, mate, if I'm honest. It's taken me a little while to get over it because they were just so dominating that it kind of worried me a little bit. And it sort of proves that maybe some of the signings or some of the players that we've got rid of might be a mistake because, you know, as much as people sort of slated Sterling and Jesus and players like that, they were in the Pep philosophy and they knew how to play and stuff like that. And I'm just a bit worried that we might be a bit slower than normal starting.
The bedding in period is going to take longer than it would.
Yeah, you see, like Liverpool obviously only really lost Mane, which I thought was going to be a little bit more of a hindrance for them, but it doesn't look like it because they've kept most of the same team apart from that. So I'm a little bit. It was a little bit too comfortable for me.
I tweeted at half time. And I got a bit of stick for this on Twitter, that with having Haaland playing, and we all wanted him, it's fantastic, it just didn't look like the right game to have a tall striker playing that game. I felt like if we would have had a Jesus or a Sterling playing, I felt we would have been more comfortable and quicker going forward. I just felt like there was a bit of... There's obviously going to be a bit of hold back, isn't there? Because he's not used to play with the team. I mean, he's only had like 1.5 games with us, so we kind of need to get that. And part of me is glad he had a full 90 minutes because it gets the time under the belt playing along new players, and he's getting in the right positions. We'll come on to that in a moment. But there was moments during that game I just thought to myself, oh, do you know what? We are missing that bit of spark that's there. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, I think so, mate. The thing is that there was a lot of times that Haaland was making a run and no one spotted him. As well, there was a few, probably about 3 or 4 chances that Haaland was in behind, but because we haven't been used to it, that's what it looks like, that we weren't looking for that ball. I thought KDB had a poor game considering how good he's been in pre-season. I know we've only had 2 games in pre-season. I thought he was poor. I thought Ake was poor. And I don't really understand why Stones or Calvin Phillips in the start at centre half over Ake. I think Stones is there. I mean, why are you not starting him next to Diaz, if I'm honest? I thought, I'm going a bit, I don't want to do it, but I think Cancelo as well, the number 7 shirt's gone to his head. He wasn't right at all. He gave the ball away too many times. Salah was doing him every single time he got the ball. I'm just a little bit worried because he doesn't, for me personally, he doesn't complement Grealish. Zinchenko complimented Grealish, if you see what I mean, because Cancelo wants to be that sort of Trent fullback type thing, but you can't have him there and Grealish wanting to do the same thing. I don't think they complement each other, but that's just me personally. I think there was a few in it, and also another one for me that I was noticing watching was Bernardo Silva. I don't think he wants to be here anymore.
Oh, that cuts deep, that Steve. I don't like that talk.
I looked at him, mate, and he wasn't the same. This Barcelona and now PSG talk. He wants to go to Barca. I mean, we've had it's the second season in a row now that Bernardo's very quiet and he doesn't really sort of say what he's feeling. But I looked at his performance and I thought that's not the Bernardo I'm used to.
I'm going to reserve judgment on that. I really am. I'm just purely because I kind of want it's like a la 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 la. I don't want to hear that more than anything. I just don't want to hear Bernardo wants to leave. The little player maker. But yeah, I do see where you're coming from. Part of me thinks though that there's a big aspect of the fitness side of the game that we were lacking. Can we use that as an excuse? I suppose we can, compared to a team that's had 3 or 4 games more than what we have.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah,
I
totally
agree. Consolation, and we have got a raft of games. Have you seen the random friendly City have got with Barcelona in August?
Yeah, some sort
What's
of.
What's that all about?
I don't know. This is the thing, and that's when that Laporte was joking about Bernardo and saying, "Oh, there'll be a chance for him to come over here," and then Pep said, "Yeah, if you've got 100 million, then yeah, you can have him." But yeah, I don't like. What's the point in that? I mean, we've got a World Cup already.
Yeah, just in case
making the season more congested.
Just in case this is news to anybody, the 24th of August, City play Barcelona in Barcelona on a Wednesday night, right in between the Newcastle game and the Crystal Palace game. And Pep saying we played too many games. Yeah, well, I can only describe that as a charity game. Players leaving and we need to give them some cash. Let's go give Barcelona some cash, shall we?
Yeah.
They're certainly not having Bernardo Silva.
No, like they're going to use the cash in the right way anyway. I mean, they just right against Palace as well, who's our bogey side. Just what we need.
Yeah, that's very. It's a funny one, isn't it? Ger Brown, he's made the point about the Charity Shield showed for me that they were fitter. Getting back to speed will be no issue. We did start off last season slow. We did lose the Charity Shield. I keep thinking 6 Champions League. Sorry, it's been a long day at work.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously lost the Charity Shield last season. Was it Leicester?
Mm.
Was it Leicester?
It was Leicester. I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. I've slept since then, and I don't really want to judge the game against Liverpool against anything other than I'm just disappointed that they won and we lost. That's the only thing I'm disappointed about. I think we just need to kind of move on from that. One other disappointing thing I'm on about, I left that game more gutted that Haaland didn't score than we did losing. He had 2 really good chances, and I've kept off Facebook and Twitter and Instagram over the last week or so purely because I've seen some of the posts that are coming out about Nunes being this fantastic hope for Liverpool and Haaland's waste of money. It's just kind of like, just put yourself in the position of a striker. The 2 positions he got into were fantastic positions, and do you know what, Steve? I'm going to have this on record. Haaland is going to score 3 goals this weekend. He's going to be chomping at the bit. You saw his face when he missed that chance went over the bar. He's going to be absolutely chomping at the bit to score this weekend. And I do not want to be in the West Ham defence this weekend because they're going to be in for an absolute beasting.
I agree, and I think I was I obviously look at the Twitter and stuff, but there was a lot of pros that come out and kind of just said what you said then, that's really gonna push Haaland forward now. But what we sort of don't forget is he did score in that game. It was offside, unfortunately, or the ball went out of play, didn't it? He did score. The ball went out of play, but he was yet again in the right position, and he did score. But I think Michael Owen, even Jamie Carragher said, "Come on," do you know what I mean? Because it's been mixed with Nunes, but I mean, for me, the only thing that wound me up in that game was Nunes' celebration. Absolute joke. What is that about? I mean, come on, mate. Yeah, we now know you're ripped. Well done. But I mean, apart from that, I mean, the geezers like they just won the quad or something,
I'll never blame a player for celebrating, but I do know what you mean. I mean, he's going to be loved by the Liverpool fans tenfold now, isn't he, for that celebration against us? But you know what it is. What it is. I just hope Haaland's looking at that, going, that could have been me. I need to work hard this week to make sure it is me this weekend.
Yeah, like I said, he'll repay that back. Because, like I said, the last game he played against West Ham, he scored a 23-minute hat trick. So
I'm telling you, it's happening. Hiya, Tommy, how are we doing, pal?
I'm alright. Sorry, me setup's an absolute mess. I've just got off a call. Let me just rise my desk up so that I can be a bit.
Oh, get you, Mr. Tall Desk. We could do that as well.
Oh, you're right. I got sent it to review. It's just like the most ridiculous thing in the world. But yeah, are we all doing? We okay?
Yeah, we're good. We're just dissecting the Liverpool game, pal. And I just before you joined, I said I'm more gutted that Haaland didn't score than losing to Liverpool. But I still don't really understand City fans saying that. I'm not bothered about it. It's a charity game. It's a friendly. That's rubbish. A win's a win for me. We need to be getting results over our biggest rivals, whether it's the Milk Cup, the Champions League, or the FA Cup, whatever it might be. We need to make sure we're winning these games. What's your take on it, pal?
You know what? I'm gonna do exactly what you've just said. You hate. I've not watched it. I've not watched the highlights. I was away for the weekend at a festival, so I didn't even have signal to keep up with the game whilst I was there. I didn't find out until a Liverpool fan came up to me and gave me a little bit of shit for having a City shirt on that we got beat.
So can I ask you a question then? What was your first feeling as soon as you knew the result?
Well, it was difficult because I hadn't seen the team. I didn't know who played. I just knew that we got beat. Obviously.
Were you drunk? Were you drunk, Tom?
I was very drunk. I kind of gathered that we got beat on the basis that we that he'd come and give me a little bit of crap for it, but. No, like I say, I've seen the team since. I've not watched the highlights back. I've seen Haaland's miss, which wasn't ideal, but I think is something that will give him. I think it's a good thing. It came at the end of the game. The game was done. We weren't going to win the game if it had gone in. And then he's got now this bee off his bonnet that he's had this big miss that everyone's waiting for him to have. He's had it in a game that meant nothing. Don't get me wrong. Would I like to have won the game? Yes, of course I'd like to have beat Liverpool, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But yeah, it's one of them things. Like I say, if you'd have given me the option of 3 points against West Ham on Sunday or a win against Liverpool in the Community Shield, I'd take the 3 points every day of the week.
And I put that question out on Twitter, and everybody replied 3 points. I didn't have one person say Charity Shield.
It's like you say, the only benefit of it is that obviously us and Liverpool are the two favourites for the league. It would have been nice to beat Liverpool and get one over on them, but. I mean, the trophy means nothing, does it? It's not something that no player, apart from Nunes, who I think nearly started crying apparently when they won the Community Shield. I don't think anyone really cares for it. So it would have been nice to beat them. Of course it would. You always want to beat Liverpool. You always want to beat your rivals. But I'm not going to read too deeply into it. I'm not concerned about the team. I'm not concerned about our prospects going into the season. Or I am concerned for other reasons, but one of the reasons is not anything to do with Liverpool.
I think a couple of shining lights I really want to take from the game is, and the main ones, Alvarez. I think we knew we were going to have a little bit of a player coming on our hands, but my God, he looks exciting. If we didn't sign Haaland and would have signed him, he'd be the player I'd be watching this season as somebody who I'm really looking forward to seeing. And I think he's been overshadowed massively by Haaland coming in, which you can completely understand. But I won't ask you, Tom, highlights-wise, but Steve, what was your thoughts on Alvarez?
Yeah, like you say, he was a shining light when he came on. He sort of done what we needed from the start, and that was running and sort of their defence and different things like that. I mean, he actually gave their fullbacks a problem. Like I say, I think again Grealish is going to be slated again for his performance, but I think that's had a lot to do with playing Cancelo on that side with him. I still feel that personally. I just don't think that he complements him. So, but Alvarez definitely was really, really promising and obviously got the goal.
Who was that? Who was that numpty saying? Who was that ex-player that's saying Grealish needs to be careful because he'll be going back to Villa or on loan or something? This week?
That was what's his face off Talk Sport.
I don't even remember. I don't remember who it was. That's how much attention I spent to it.
It was. Was it? I can't remember his name, but it was on Talk Sport and said, "Oh, give back." It's not. I still stick by it that Grealish should be one of our players of the season this season. And I'll still stick by that. I
can't disagree, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. I think him and Phil have got a cracking season lined up. I think they're going to be looking forward to going to England together. I think they're going to be fantastic, not just for City but for England as well.
Yeah.
And I think we've got so much to look forward to from the squad we've got going forward, and I'm really looking forward to this. We'll move on quickly. Steve, did you mention there was a bit of transfer talk before we started this you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, it was just that Cucurella deal. I just think it's a bit. I mean, if my thing is, if this was the other way around, we'd be getting slated all over the media, wouldn't we? If oh no, Chelsea don't want to pay 30 million, but City are going to come in with 50 and just get him our way. It's so. Because I think I said this in the last one. It still bugs me. I know it's always going to happen, but it still bugs me because Chelsea have been taken over now twice for God knows how much money, and we've just done it once and gone about everything in the right way. I feel, but we still don't. You know, we have the 3 targets, and he was obviously the top one, but we're not going to go up to 50 million for him, which is fine. But just leave us out of it now. Always seems to be, oh, well, City can afford him. Well, we don't want to pay that money for him. He's obviously, you know, Pep and City don't think he's worth £50 million, so leave it there.
And where are Chelsea up with it? Have they? Is that not that's not done and dusted yet? Is it?
It's probably about 90%. I think everything's been. I think like money and wages have all been agreed. But I think it's just the fee at the moment from what's going on around social media and stuff like that. Anyway.
I've just done a bit of a search for it. We've got the old Fabrizio. Here we go for Cucurella. So yeah, I think that's done and dusted, isn't it? I'm sure that Cucurella was desperate to join City a few days ago.
That's why he put in the transfer request, wasn't it? I think.
Who are we to discuss that? Never mind. So who's the plan B for left back then? Surely not. We're not going to rely on Ake and Cancelo, are we?
I wouldn't think so. There was that Ronaldo from Benfica. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was I'm not really sure who's on the 3, but I think Ronaldo was mentioned quite a lot, and then I think was there a left back from Anderlecht as well?
Yeah, that's Sergio Gomez has been linked. But apparently there's talks that he might go on loan to Girona if we sign him.
Yeah, I've seen that today. Yeah,
it would be strange if we were to bring in a left back, needing a left back, and ship him out on loan. I don't see why that would be a sensible move. But who am I to judge Pep? You know what I mean? If he thinks a loan move's best for him and we get him, then so be it. But I do think that's somewhere City need to address before the season starts, or as soon as he can, if not before the season starts. Because 2 senior fullbacks for a season where we're looking to compete on 4 or 5 fronts is 3 or 4 fronts. He's not going to cut it, really, is it? We can't rely on the minute Walker or Cancelo picks up a knock, we're in a bit of trouble. So yeah, we need to address that. We need a fullback in. We have got the benefit of Ake can play at left back as well. Obviously, Cancelo can play right or left. We've got Wilson Hesbrand coming through, but I think we need one more senior left back really in the squad to make us sure. And also for the fact that, like you said before, and I agree with you in that I don't think Cancelo and Grealish particularly complement each other very well. We need, I think, when we're playing with Grealish, who's going to be cutting inside, we need a more defensively sound left back. And I don't think Cancelo's massively. I don't think he's a bad defender, but I don't think his defensive abilities aren't like the main trait of his game. Sort of, he's a player who likes to get involved and get the ball. Grealish doesn't get back an awful lot, so I think them two could cause each other a little bit of problems down that left hand side. So if we can get a left back in who's got a good defensive brain, unfortunately, like Cucurella, who is now, like you say, all but signed for Chelsea, then that would be very beneficial for the team. But yeah, I don't know who that'll be at the moment.
The worrying thing that you mentioned there is the little niggles, the little injuries. There will be something. You could pretty much guarantee we're going to get to the tail end of the season with no left backs or right backs. There's going to be something somewhere where we're going to play like 2 or 3 games with no natural left or right sided players because of injury. It seems to happen a lot, and it seems to happen every couple of seasons because we've not got that strength in depth in certain areas. We've always had this problem area though. I'm kind of inclined to say if this is a problem area and Cucurella is the right man, surely if that's the price, then we pay it. If that's the price to get somebody that's going to be with us for X amount of years, surely it's worth it. But saying that City won't have the pants pulled down. We just won't do it, will we? We just won't. We won't entertain stupid money. We seem to have gone by that. And who am I to argue against the tactics that City do? Because obviously we've won so much in the last couple of years. So I kind of get a feeling that if we don't sign anyone, we'll be all right and we'll get through it. I just don't like the fact that we're going to do that. I'd rather us be sure and go into the season with a full complement of players in every position that Pep's happy with.
Yeah, no, I agree because they say, oh, that Haaland's the missing piece of the jigsaw for the Champions League, but it could be the fact that the depth in fullbacks could be the issue, because if you go into there without sort of two of your main fullbacks in a semi-final or a final, and you're sort of looking around going, oh god, does that mean Ake's going to play left back?
It's all well and good scoring goals, but if we're shipping at the other end, then it's kind of a bit, come on, we need to be doing something. Anyway, we'll move on from this. Let's move on to the game this weekend, and my god, I've been looking forward to this Sunday. 4:30 kickoff at West Ham. This is it, lads. So, what? Tom, we'll go straight to you on this part. Do you need to leave early, Tom? Did you say before?
No, I was just late coming in.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
No, we're good to go.
Talk me through your thoughts on the West Ham game and how many are we going to batter them by.
I don't want to get carried away. I think City traditionally do tend to start the season quite strong. Again, we're away from home first game of the season, which is doing my head in, 'cause it seems that every year we're away from home first game, and the fact we got to wait until Sunday tea time when everyone else is playing is also very annoying. But no, I think we've got sort of. I hope the players have got, as much as I've said, I don't really care for the Community Shield. I hope the players are a bit wound up by the fact that they didn't quite turn up against Liverpool on all accounts, and they want to go to West Ham and really lay down a marker. And I think we've got the capabilities of doing that. Obviously, we didn't win at West Ham last season. We had that missed penalty right towards the end from Mahrez, and thankfully it didn't end up costing us. But no, I do think we'll win at the weekend. I think we'll go out there and we will. Our record at London Stadium is really good. We tend to play quite well there. So I think Haaland will have a bee in his bonnet about the fact that he didn't play particularly well against Liverpool again, on all accounts. I'm not speaking from having seen it. But no, I do think we've had that extra week now. They're back in training. They're back in England. We had people forget that Liverpool went into the Community Shield having had a much more extensive pre-season than City. They played a lot more football. They played a lot together. We only played 2 games in America. We haven't had a particularly big pre-season, so we are still a little bit behind sort of your likes of Liverpool in game time. So we've had that extra couple of weeks. We've had sort of an extra game in there. So I think we'll be raring to go on Sunday, and I think we'll have a decent win against them.
This excites me. How about you, Steve? What's your thoughts?
I'm nervous.
Don't do this to me.
Yeah, but that's me though, isn't it? It always has been. I've never been we're going to go out and I don't know. Like I said, the Liverpool game's still sticking with me, and I probably looked into it way too much, and that's the issue. And it probably is just about the fitness. And we haven't had too many things, but I've just looked at, like I said, player performances, and it just doesn't. I hope Ake doesn't start centre half. That's the one thing, because he was poor on Saturday. He was for me, and I'm still in that little bit about Bernardo. I know you don't want to hear it, blah blah blah, and all that. I think Gundogan and Foden came on and done better. The
game changed massively when they came on, by the way.
So I think that I would like to think that Pep's sort of seen that. And we need it. I don't know. I think it'll be. I think we'll win 2-1, but I don't think it'll be as easy as we think it's going to be.
You're pitching for a close game, then, are you?
I think so. Yeah, I think they'll the counter attack, and we had trouble against Bowen last time we played them, and I just think because he'll be down Cancelo's side. I think that from last time he did cause us a hell of a lot of problems, and I'm hoping that he might. We're obviously not going to have a left back in, so obviously Cancelo's going to go there, but that means he's still probably going to play Grealish, which is good for going forward, but it's, as we said before, it's just that link up I don't like. And I think Bowen, he is a class player. I think he's one of the shining lights for England in the last few games. So I just thinking of last time, but I'm hoping that I'm completely wrong and we'll go out and whip them 4-5-0. But I just think from last time they've got pretty much the same team. Antonio was causing us problems in behind. And I just hope that we can just rectify that, because that's what West Ham like to do. And I'm just hoping that Pep can stop it. And I'd like to see Phillips in the centre half. With
that's an interesting one. I can't actually see it. Can you see that?
I think the times he played in America. He came on at centre half. and he looked really good. He played there at Bielsa with Bielsa as well, who obviously, and I think just taking a number 4 shirt, I mean, it's, as I said before, it's a big boost to fill that. Huge. Probably never fill him, but still, I think it's a bit weird where he could have had number 23 that he wore at Leeds. So I just feel maybe there might be something there, but I think you can't play anyone next to anyone as good as Diaz. So I think it would help him, but I like Phillips there. I think he'd do really well. I think he'd do better than what Ake would do there, personally, but that's just me.
Are you expecting are you expecting any random players coming into the game? Are you expecting a pretty strong lineup? Are you thinking Pep's going to chuck a couple of curveballs in there with junior players, or we've got to go for the kill, haven't we? We've got to go for the best possible squad. I mean, everyone's fit, aren't they?
Yeah,
fit?
I think.
As far as I know,
I think so, unless Tom knows anything different, but I'm pretty sure everyone's fit.
Yeah, I would just say quickly, I wouldn't read too deeply into the shirt number with Phillips. Obviously, he couldn't have 23 at City, could he, because it's retired. But I just think 4 is a number that, I don't know, it does work. I think we might see him play centre-half, but I was going to add that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Phillips and Rodri play at the weekend with maybe a De Bruyne in a more creative role in front, for the fact that, like you say, West Ham have got the ability to cause us problems. That double pivot is something Pep has played before with City, not played it so much recently because we've not had the ability to play it with 2 holding midfielders who are comfortable on the ball like Rodri and Phillips both are. So I wouldn't be surprised if Phillips started in the middle of the park, but no, as far as I'm aware, everyone's fit, and I think City have got the ability to go out and sort of. I think it's a good first game for City. I think it's a game that, whilst we could have like a Bournemouth at home and stuff them 6 or 7-0, it doesn't really show anything. If we can go and have a decent win away at West Ham, which is one of the trickier places to go, I think it really lays down a marker earlier in the season to say, look, we're here and we mean business. And I'd much sooner get West Ham away out of the way on the first day of the season than, like we say, we had to play in second last game of the year last year. So yeah, it's I think it's a really good first game for City, and I think it's a chance to really lay down a marker, and I think we will. I think Haaland will score, and I think we'll play. I don't even think we drew with them last season, and if it weren't for a couple, I think Antonio missed a big chance in the second half to make it 3-1, or I think it might have been 3-1 at the time. But we had a really poor first half against West Ham, and they played probably as well as they could have done, and we still ended up drawing the game. So I think unless we massively underperform, I don't see West Ham having enough there to beat us. They've still got a couple of areas that need addressing in the transfer market. They've still got a couple of deals that they're working on. They've not got the squad that they wanted to start the season, whereas I think we do, with the exception of an extra left back who I don't think would have started anyway. I think we've got the starting 11 that we would want, and I don't think West Ham do. So I think we're in a better position certainly than West Ham to go and get the win on Sunday.
Gear Brown and Theb on Facebook has just reminded me that Laporte's out till September, which I completely forgot about.
That's why I thought that Phillips might be at centre half.
I completely forgot about that. It's going to be really interesting to see Stone. I'd love to see Stones back.
I think that's a logical thing. So I think I maybe agree with Tom Young. Like maybe it could be like a 4-2-3-1 then.
I can't see anything other than Ake and Diaz, just on the basis that obviously Stones didn't tour with the first team, did he? He was with, was it Gundogan and Foden, and Stones, I think, had to tour with the under-23s. So I just think based on fitness, based on time spent together, time played together, I think the team will be very similar to what we saw against Liverpool. No Laporte. Diaz is a shoe-in to start. Obviously, you've got Pep likes a left-footed centre-half naturally in his team at centre-back, and Ake is the only one of the other 2 available who is predominantly left-footed. So I'd be surprised if it wasn't Diaz and Ake. I've not seen, obviously, the weekend. I'll have to take your word that Ake didn't have the best game. But I don't think Ake... I think Ake... You know what's funny? Ake dropped a bit of a clanger in the Community Shield last year, and then I don't think he put a foot wrong for the rest of the season. He gave away the penalty for Leicester when we got beat 1-0.
He did, yeah.
And I think Ake usually is solid. So yeah, I'd be surprised if the team wasn't. So I'd be surprised if the team was massively different to what we saw in the Community Shield. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if Phillips played alongside Rodri.
Okay, Steve, you're going for 2-1, was it?
Yeah.
Tom?
3-0.
I was going to have 3-0. So I'm going to go for 4-0.
Nice.
4-0.
You know, we talk.
We're doing predictions this season, pal. We're doing predictions.
Oh.
Do you know what, pal? It can't get any worse. I didn't predict all the way through the Champions League, thinking I'd jinx us. We didn't win it. So you know what? Let's just go for it now. Let's do some predictions. Money where your mouth is. Have a bit of confidence in the Blues, and we'll go from there. Right, we're going to end it there, lads. Anything else to add before we shoot off?
Don't think so, unless you just wanted to mention fantasy quickly.
What we'll do is we've not got much left on the time on this, but we'll shut this one down and we'll start another one up if that's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. All right, Tom, you please feel free to join us. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Cheers, lads. Thanks for joining, everyone. See you soon.